know shit.
I don't know.
I don't know shit.
Coley, go ask Preacher Man.
Coley here, new revolutionary. Today, I'm going to start with pragmatic party talk on authoritarianism. I consider myself a pragmat. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm independent. I'm on no team. I'm on the truth team. And my objective thought is I don't want to create false equivalencies. So I don't want to speak out of turn here. I'm going to be as literal as I can. One of the current political parties, the Republican Party, is bending towards authoritarianism. They're gerrymandering districts to win more seats in states that they typically lose the popular vote in. They are putting in place election officials and secretary of states in state governments where elections are held that would be more conducive to thought like Trump's idea that states were stolen or rigged, and to switch the electors to who they say, which is completely illegal and undemocratic. They're literally putting in Secretary of States and election officials who are conducive to that thought. And in the last election, there was a violent unrest to try to stop the proceeding of a candidate who had won by 7 million popular votes and the Electoral College by a wide margin. There was no fraud, and in the relative few instances, couple tens here and there of people committing election fraud, extremely rare, most of them have been Republican. It's all math, and this has all occurred all in front of our eyes, and nobody says anything or does anything or nothing gets changed. Like, that's what's occurring. That's literally occurring. What the fuck? That's not American. That's not democratic. That's cheating. And they lie about it, and then you say to them, you're lying, and then they're like, we're not lying. And it's like, I know you're lying, and they're like, no, you don't know I'm lying because I'm lying about lying, and therefore how do you prove a lie when I lie more about the lies? And it's like, yeah, no, I know you're doing that. I see you're doing that. We've been saying you're doing that for a while. Can you stop? Stop lying. But it keeps happening. And everyone thinks they're in on this game, and then it's like everybody's getting gaslit, and then everybody just keeps on going. And then people accept more and more and more. I think this is slowly how democracy dies, or something weird happens. Like, what happens if there's an election that someone doesn't win the popular vote? They don't win the Electoral College. By all lawyer, judges, professionals, government officials, partisan people all say this person won the election, which just occurred. That just occurred. Clean, fair election. It occurred, and it worked. By all accounts, professional and otherwise, the systematic people we put in place to determine this shit. But, of course, you do your Facebook research and you know more. But they say it's a fine election. Let's say, what happens if that happens and someone else says, nope, I'm it. And the people in power, because they put it in place, go, no, I'm it. What do we do then? They tried. And the only reason it didn't work is because they're so clunky and comical about it. They're cartoonishly clunky. Couldn't pull it off. And America's the greatest country, greatest idea that's ever existed, and we have defenses in place against this kind of shit, and some motherfuckers actually have ideals. I gotta give it up to certain Republicans. Mike Pence followed through on his vice presidential duties and just did what he was supposed to do. Risked his life for America. Lynn Cheney, she's just speaking the truth. She's just saying the truth. She's just saying what I'm saying. She's just like, this is outrageous and un-American, not democratic. This is crazy shit. Kinzinger, there's some people out there speaking the truth. And then there's a lot of grovelly, spineless people who won't even defend their wives against insult. They won't defend themselves against insult. Just little grimy, tiny little weasels who claim to be leaders, who just grovel in the mix to get the power and push away the fear. But they won't say what's God's honest truth. The simplest thing to do on the planet. If you're a revolutionary. Wake up, people. Some weird shit's happening. People got to wake the fuck up. Remember our ideals. The Constitution. You can't be loyal to the Constitution and loyal to this kind of behavior. You can't at the same time. You got to either pick the man or the Constitution. You can't have both. It's mathematically impossible because this kind of stuff is unconstitutional. What do I know? I'm just a pragmat. Love you all. Coley.
I don't know shit. Right now 76, thinking. I don't know shit. Yeah, I don't know shit.